What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we're going to talk more about the fallout from Spider-Man no longer being part of the MCU. It's a complicated situation, and there's a lot of moving parts, so this is on Screen Rant. Will future Spider-Man movies still be in the MCU? Here's what we know. The breakdown of the Marvel-Sony deal means that Spider-Man 3 and 4 may not be part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe at all. In early 2015, Marvel Studios and Sony Pictures reached an unprecedented deal that allowed Spider-Man to be rebooted as part of the MCU. Marvel wasted no time in casting Tom Holland as the latest incarnation of the wall crawler, and he was introduced in 2016's Captain America Civil War. The new young Spider-Man had become a hit on the big screen, with Spider-Man Far From Home becoming Sony's highest grossing film of all time. In spite of the box office success, or perhaps because of it, the partnership between Marvel and Sony had broken down. Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige was in favor of continuing the relationship, but unfortunately Sony and Disney were unable to reach an agreement. According to Deadline, Disney wanted 50. All right, we know all that. So the winners and losers of the 2019 box office. The key question, however, is just how future Spider-Man films will relate to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Both Tom Holland and director John Watts are reportedly signed on for another 2 Spider-Man movies, and that gives Sony a couple of options. On one hand, they could choose to carry out a soft reboot of the Spider-Man franchise, keeping the same stars as well as the same tone and style, or move forward with another version entirely, one that's absent of Marvel because of the deal breaking down. Alternatively, they could choose to pick up from Spider-Man Far From Home post-credit cliffhanger and continue the wall crawler story, absent of any future overt references to the MCU. At this stage, it's unclear what approach Sony will take. Soft reboots aren't exactly uncommon in Hollywood, so the studio could conceivably attempt that. At the same time, though, that's not usually done after a billion-dollar blockbuster hit like Far From Home. In narrative terms, the cliffhanger ending sets up a Spider-Man film like no other, exploring Peter Parker's life. Now his secret identity is public knowledge. There's far too much potential for that idea to be wasted. Sony would probably be wiser to take that latter approach. The question then becomes whether or not Sony would risk contradicting the MCU, letting a developing Spider-Man franchise spin off in its own direction. The studio could choose to avoid explicit contradictions by following the pattern set by Venom, where the script was self-contained and avoided action on a scale that would demand attention from the Avengers, meaning it could quite easily be believed to exist in Marvel's shared universe. The problem with that idea, though, is that sooner or later the MCU will do something too big a scale for Sony to ignore without seeming absurd. Oh my goodness, Marvel Television has recently faced that same issue with the cliffhanger ending of Avengers Infinity War after a 5-year time jump, yada yada yada. What to expect from Spider-Man 3? I guess that's it. So more, what to expect? I'm not clicking on that. I will say this. Here's the thing, man. As happy as I am that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is finding themselves in this position based on their identity politics approach to Phase 4, because I've enjoyed the Marvel Cinematic Universe for the most part. I know there's a couple of twat waffles out there that say I'm a Marvel fanboy because I criticize Zack Snyder's DCEU. I'm a Nolan guy. I love Batman. I love Superman. I just didn't like Zack Snyder's DCEU. That doesn't automatically make me a Marvel fanboy. I'm not an MCU fanboy. I was kind of down on the MCU until Infinity War, and Infinity War just blew my mind. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But I'm not down on the MCU as a shared universe. I've always enjoyed it, and I thought they've done a great job, even if I've had problems within that universe. My big problem is them moving into the woke phase with Captain Marvel and Valkyrie and Thor and the female Thor. Female Thor. That's for you, Taika Waititi, just like I did on my previous video. Taika Waititi, director of Love and Thunder, he doesn't like when we call female Thor, female Thor. So we're always going to female Thor. Female Thor. Clap, clap, female Thor. Put that in the comments. Make sure Taika Waititi hears it. So my problem is the identity politics, the pandering, the wokeness of Phase 4. Now, Kevin Feige is a legitimate movie business genius. The man is incredible, and what he has been able to do with Marvel, Whether I like some of it or not is irrelevant. The business model of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is second to none. And if you look at Sony's handling of Spider-Man prior to the MCU, they weren't doing a great job. Now, I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of the Raimi Spider-Man, at least 1 and 2, especially 2. 2 will probably never be topped, in my opinion, in a Spider-Man movie. It's incredible. It's an all-timer. But 3, we all know the problems with 3. And then we rebooted to the Andrew Garfield garbage Spider-Man. That's garbage tier Spider-Man. I hated The Amazing Spider-Man, and I never even watched Part 2 because I hated Part 1. That's Sony's handling of Spider-Man. Spider-Man is an A-plus character. He's an A-list guy. He's right there with Batman and Superman and Wolverine. That's the upper echelon of superheroes right there. Regardless of where they are, what medium they're in, Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, Wolverine, that is your A-class level superheroes. Spider-Man is box office gold, but even then, you were struggling to maintain your audience with The Amazing Spider-Man 2. It did make money, but it was struggling to really inspire people. So you moved on from that, and then you got involved with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and Kevin Feige has now, with his fingerprints all over it, he has given Sony the most successful Spider-Man to date with Far From Home. Now, in being involved in Endgame, connected to Tony Stark and Iron Man, that's obviously been a big part of it. Plus, Tom Holland is a great Spider-Man. But now Sony, I feel like Sony might be getting a little too confident in themselves. Because if you're going to walk away from the Marvel Cinematic Universe and Kevin Feige, then we're going to go back to the Andrew Garfield days. At least, I'm talking about the creative vision behind those movies. So while I see why they want to do this, I think that they're probably making a mistake. But at the same time, I'm happy that Marvel has found themselves in this position because they tied a lot to Spider-Man. They put a lot of emphasis on him being the new version of Iron Man, and now they're not going to have that. So now you can rely on Valkyrie and Captain Marvel and their identity politics to lead your Marvel Cinematic woke universe. Man, a lot of moving parts. Very interesting stuff going on. We'll continue to monitor it, and we'll continue to keep up with it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Shout out to Taika Waititi, Female Thor, and you guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video, and we will talk to you later. Hey everyone, it's Jeremy from geeksandgamers.com, and if you're a fan of Geeks and Gamers, please go to our website, visit our merchandise store. We have t-shirts, hoodies, hats, beanies, tank tops, and in the very near future, we're going to have many more products for you to choose from. So thank you for the support. We appreciate it. You guys have a great day, and we will talk to you later.